What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're back. Today's video is pretty much to give y'all an update of, well, not an update, but just to go into further detail about our FET protocol, our frozen embryo transfer protocol, and to also answer a couple questions that we've gotten about the process and everything like that. So,
where did we last leave off?
We last left off at, we were telling them about the Lupron, that you were going to start Lupron.
Okay, so this was like, oh yeah, I told y'all that exactly a week after retrieval.
After retrieval.
Yeah, so exactly a week after retrieval, I started my cycle, and then on cycle day 3, I started birth control. I was on birth control for what, 2 weeks?
You started birth control on the 23rd.
The 23rd.
And you took your last birth control pill on Saturday, March 7th.
Yeah, so it was almost 2 weeks that I was on birth control for.
Yeah.
And so started off with birth control, then added Lupron a week later, and then ended the birth control towards the end of that week. So currently we are just doing Lupron right now.
Right. And the next step is to go in for a suppression check, which is kind of it's the same thing we did when we first started before the retrieval and everything, to make sure that her levels are at a good baseline, which is what the Lupron and the birth control is for as well, to make sure that she's, you know, at a very minimal, you know, level with everything right now.
To make sure everything is suppressed.
Period.
So just in case y'all are wondering, the Lupron dosage that we're taking is just 10 units. So it's a very small amount.
Very small.
That we're taking.
So,
today is Tuesday,
March the 10th.
March the 10th, it sure is.
Sorry about that. If you hear all the knocking, it's next door, neighbors, whatever. So, our appointment is tomorrow. The suppression check is tomorrow. We'll go in, like we said, to make sure everything is suppressed and go through a mock transfer,
which is pretty much like an IUI.
Pretty much, they're gonna just like make sure that there aren't any issues inserting the catheter and whatever else. Make sure everything runs smoothly, and make sure we know to be prepared for everything on the actual day of the transfer.
Yeah. Okay.
So after the suppression appointment on the 11th, that'll be her last day taking Lupron. And she'll start estradiol on the 12th, the day after the suppression check. So no more Lupron, no more birth control, straight up estrogen to make sure everything is rising again. And the estrogen is for what?
To thicken your uterine lining.
Yes.
Which is where?
The baby with implants. So, yeah, so after that, our next appointment won't be for a couple weeks. And at that appointment, they'll do an ultrasound and check her estradiol levels. Estradiol or estrogen, sorry if I say the two, it's the same thing. They'll check those levels, and we'll receive, it says on our, we have a little paper here. It says we'll receive a new plan at this appointment, and you won't begin progesterone injections until after this appointment. So I guess we'll get like a whole nother like detail of day by day. I guess it'll get more consistent with appointments like it was before retrieval. We'll probably go for more.
FYI, the progesterone is not a suppository. It's not a pill.
It's not a patch.
Not a patch.
It's the shot.
I'm going to be doing injections of progesterone in oil in the buttock. FYI.
What she said.
And do y'all know how long you take progesterone for?
But yeah, so after that, transfer will follow shortly after that. So, you know,
it's here.
It's coming, y'all. It's super, super cool. We're excited, you know.
Can't wait for the end of the month to get here.
Yeah.
The doctor appointment tomorrow is just the beginning.
Yeah.
And then everything is just going to fly right on by, because since I've just been doing the birth control and Lupron, it's just been like, just waiting on the day to get here. That's pretty much it, our protocol right now. What other questions did we have?
We received a question that asked if FET and IVF are different or if they're the same thing. So IVF in itself is in vitro fertilization, and FET is frozen embryo transfer. So the IVF requires the embryos to be transferred, but you can do a fresh or frozen transfer. So it's something within IVF. It's not different It's just something that's within it. A frozen embryo transfer. We did the retrieval, and instead of doing a 3 or 5 day transfer of the embryos, like right away, we froze the embryos and are doing a frozen embryo transfer.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the difference between those. A couple people asked about the progeny benefits and what to expect cost wise. It will 100% depend on your medical insurance and what your plan is. We have a no deductible plan, so therefore, like, we don't have to pay anything except a copay. So it's all gonna be dependent on your specific plan
That you choose.
With
your employer.
Yes, 100%.
And their progeny will back up off of that.
Yeah, and then like some employers will have a different, like, if they cover so many rounds or whatever, that's dependent on your employer as well. So every case is different. We can't tell you that you'll receive the same benefits that we have because we just don't know and don't want to provide false information.
So, a question that we got is, where did you start and was it expensive?
Where did we start? Shoot, back in 2017 doing IUI.
Yeah.
The internet, first of all, like, depending on your whatever location you're in, start off with a good Google search of IUI or IVF in your city, and however many clinics you have, they'll all pull up. You know, do your research on the doctors, on the process.
First of all, how to make a baby, because we didn't know about all the tracking and ovulation and stuff like that. I mean, you know, like, that's the very beginning of where you, like, really want to start.
I guess that's a good place to start, Getting an app.
Yeah.
Downloading an app to track your ovulation.
Yes. That is where you definitely want to start. I mean, it all depends on, like, what route you want to take. Whether you want to do it at home insemination, whether you want to do at the doctor assisted IUI, or whether you want to do it IVF, whether you're trying to do it reciprocal or with your own eggs. So it just pretty much depends on where you want to start. So definitely the internet is, like she said, where
do your research. Like, don't just go off of one source. There are a number of different places to find information, and you know, you just gotta go get it. You don't rush into it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how you can waste a lot of money, because this process isn't cheap. You know, at least
right. That's the next question. Was it expensive? Yes, it can get expensive.
IUI for us was extremely expensive. The whole process. We did 10 IUIs total. Not to mention, we both did a what's it called? The sauna.
Oh, I did
HSG test.
HSG.
We both did one of those.
I did a hysteroscopy. Remember?
Hysteroscopy, which was expensive.
And then you got to buy the sperm, which can be
super
minimum
expensive.
$400 a vial, on upwards to $1,000. So.
IUI cycles in itself, like the actual procedure, is expensive. You pay for every single one unless you have coverage from your insurance, which most people do not. But with IVF, like we have said a lot of times, we've been blessed because of our insurance and our employer to not have to pay anything except for a copay. So it's expensive. It's an expensive process. Do your research. Do your research. 100%. Do your research. If you don't take anything away from this conversation, do your research.
So the next question was the most painful part. I think their reproductive endocrinologist went over retrieval process and they're shook. I will say the most painful part was definitely after retrieval. Like, those first 3 days were the absolute worst. Like, I mean, the shots don't bother me. I'm not scared of needles. Like, that's nothing. But after retrieval, baby, woo! That's literally hands down the most painful part.
That was, I don't know, that was rough. Cause
and then it's crazy because I'm thinking, like, I was in so much pain. Like, I couldn't have imagined doing a fresh cycle. I couldn't imagine it. Like, oh my gosh, it was not good.
And then it's like, a lot of people, some people don't have pain like that after their retrieval. Some people do. But it also, we've heard a number of times that it's dependent upon how many eggs you have. She had hella eggs. She had 34 eggs retrieved. So that
Probably.
probably led into it. Like, the procedure took longer because there were so many eggs, so they were in there poking and prodding more. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that probably played a part into it as well. But you can expect that to be the most painful part of it. And then it's like what you're doing it for too. Like, you know, the reason behind it, like what you're trying to get to, the end goal.
Yeah.
It makes it worth it. You know,
It,
I can't say I haven't gotten a shot, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like.
but you've got injected with a needle before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really as bad as it seems. Like,
Yeah.
I know I see some people that have really, really terrible side effects from like all the injections though.
Yeah.
Another question we had was, any of it covered by insurance, and what was your very first step of the process? So our very first step of our IVF process was to get our progeny benefits activated.
Yes.
Since we knew we could be offered that coverage. So we got that activated. And as soon as we got that activated, we called our fertility clinic that we have been with for the past few years.
Yes.
And
Well, actually, we told them. I remember when we're doing my last IUI, we were like, well, you know, if this doesn't work, we've got progeny. We've seen the signs all around your office that y'all accept them. So if this don't work, we'll be back for IVF.
right.
We told them that straight up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's about to go down.
Yeah. So all we had to do was just make our consultation. Well, actually, we kind of like jumped the gun and already made our consultation appointment before we even had our progeny benefits activated, because we knew what day they were going to be activated. So our appointment was like 2 days after that.
So for people who don't have a progeny benefit or whatever, the first step in the process is to first reach out to your insurance, see if there's anything specific that you need to do, and second, to reach out to the fertility clinic of your choice and set up a consultation. That's the first part, baseline. Because from there, you'll find out costs, you'll find out, you know, what options are available to you, what particular, like, if they want to do fresh, if they prefer frozen, if whatever, like, you'll find out everything you need to do at that consultation appointment. That consultation appointment will cost money.
Yeah, it will.
Like, it's going to cost regardless if you do IUI, IVF, whatever. And the price is kind of ridiculous in my opinion for a consultation.
It is,
But I digress.
If you want to be ahead of the game, track your cycle for 3 months prior to. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yes, that is pretty beneficial. So you can like know yourself, know your body. The doctor's gonna ask you anyways, how long do you think your cycle? How long is your cycle? Do you think you ovulate? You know, all that kind of stuff. So just first step, make your consultation appointment.
Yeah.
Pretty much it. Track your cycle. 3 months. Make your ovulation, your consultation appointment. My family, y'all, they added questions to this. My niece, who's like my kid, she was like, will I be addressed as big sister to baby Pace or not? And of course she will, because she's like my kid. And my cousin, I didn't put that, that's not on there, it's another screenshot. She was like, twins or not. Everybody is wishing twins on us, y'all. Everybody. I just want to know if y'all gonna be sending twin diapers.
Period.
Twin bottles.
Period.
Hello? Twin wipes.
Big dot.
Hello? Cribs, conceive, outlet. What y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna help? Huh? What y'all gonna do? No, we will be thankful for whatever God blesses us with.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but we gotta go. She gotta start work. I don't know if y'all heard that little alarm, but yeah, we gotta get out of here. If y'all have any more questions, drop them in the comments below. We love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see y'all in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.